In the remote village of Eltra, the church of St. Arlan stood atop a hill, its spire piercing the night sky. The villagers regarded it as a sacred sanctuary, a place of solace and spiritual guidance. But whispers often floated around about the peculiar night services, known as the shadow sermons, held only under the cover of darkness. The prophetess, Mother Celine, a woman with an ethereal presence and piercing silver eyes, had introduced these services years ago. She claimed they were meant to reveal divine truths and cleanse the congregation of their sins. The sermons were unlike any others, for they were held with only candlelight illuminating the massive stone walls, casting long, flickering shadows. At first, it seemed like an ordinary ritual until the shadows began to move. It started subtly, a flicker here, a strange shift there. But soon, the shadows broke free from their owners. They danced and writhed across the walls, depicting scenes that had not happened in the church. Scenes of anger, betrayal, theft, and lust. Each shadow seemed to reveal secrets, not just any secrets, but the deepest and darkest ones buried within the hearts of the congregation. The villagers were terrified. They couldn't understand how their private thoughts and actions were being laid bare. A man named Garrett, known for his piety, had his shadow reveal an affair with a widow from a neighboring village. Old Marla, who everyone believed was a kind-hearted baker, watched in horror as her shadow replayed the time she poisoned her husband decades ago. No one's secrets were safe, but Mother Celine encouraged it. She stood at the altar, her voice calm and commanding. "The shadows speak the truth," she proclaimed. "They are a gift from the divine, a chance to cleanse your souls. Embrace this revelation, for only through the truth can we find salvation." One night, a young woman named Alara attended the service for the first time. She had always avoided the shadow sermons, unsettled by the rumors. But after much persuasion from her devout mother, she reluctantly agreed. As the candles were lit and the shadows began their ominous dance, Alara felt a cold chill run down her spine. The congregation watched in uneasy silence as the shadows exposed new secrets. Alara's stomach churned as she saw a young boy's shadow stealing food from the market, a woman's shadow holding a dagger dripping with blood, and a merchant's shadow accepting bribes. Then, without warning, Alara's own shadow moved. It detached from her body and began to stretch across the wall. Her heart raced as it revealed a moment she had never shared with anyone. The night she considered ending her own life, standing on the edge of the cliff near her home, consumed by despair. Gasps filled the room. Alara's face burned with shame. She wanted to run, but her legs felt like lead. Mother Celine's voice rang out. "Do not hide from the truth, child. This is your burden to bear, but also your chance to be free." After the service, Alara couldn't sleep. Her mind was a storm of questions and fear. Why did the shadows move? Were they truly divine, or was something far darker at play? The next day, she began to investigate. Alara spoke with the elders, combed through the church archives, and even ventured into the forbidden catacombs beneath St. Arlan. What she discovered chilled her to the bone. Centuries ago, the church had been built over a site where an ancient ritual had been performed to summon a spirit of truth. This spirit, bound to the church, had the power to expose the secrets of anyone who entered. It thrived on the shame and guilt of its victims, growing stronger with each revelation. Mother Celine was no prophetess of salvation. She was a keeper of the spirit. She had learned to channel its power, using the shadow sermons to maintain control over the villagers. By exposing their darkest secrets, she ensured their loyalty and fear. No one dared oppose her, for they knew their shadows would betray them. Alara's discovery filled her with both dread and determination. She couldn't allow this to continue. On the night of the next shadow sermon, she returned to the church, concealing a vial of holy water and a fragment of an ancient relic she had found in the catacombs, a shard of the original altar stone used to bind the spirit. As the shadows began their macabre performance, Elara stepped forward. Her voice trembled, but her resolve was firm. "Mother Celine," she said, "these shadows are not divine. They are the work of a spirit bound by our ancestors. You have exploited its power for your own gain." The congregation gasped, their eyes darting between Elara and the prophetess. Mother Celine's calm demeanor faltered for the first time. "Child, you speak of things you cannot understand," she said, her voice sharp. But Elara was undeterred. She raised the relic shard and recited an incantation she had found in the ancient texts. The shadows on the walls began to convulse, their movements growing erratic. A low, guttural growl echoed through the church as the spirit's hold weakened. Mother Celine shrieked, lunging toward Elara, but the young woman threw the vial of holy water at her feet. A burst of light filled the room, and the shadows dissolved into nothingness. The congregation watched in stunned silence as the spirit's presence faded, leaving only the dim glow of the candles. The villagers thought it was over, but the remnants of the spirit lingered. In the days that followed, strange phenomena continued. Candles flickered without wind, faint whispers echoed through the halls, and fleeting shadows danced on the walls when no one was near. The spirit had been weakened, not destroyed. Elara knew she had to act. Guided by the ancient texts, she found a final ritual that could sever the spirit's connection to the church. It required immense courage and sacrifice. With the help of a few brave villagers, she performed the ritual on the night of a new moon. As they chanted, the air grew heavy, and a dark form began to rise from the church floor. The spirit, now fully revealed, was a mass of writhing shadows and eyes, its voice a cacophony of anguished cries. It lashed out, sending villagers fleeing in terror. But Elara held her ground, clutching the relic shard and the holy water. She completed the final incantation and cast the relic into the spirit's core. With a deafening roar, the spirit was pulled into the relic, which shattered into 1,000 pieces. The church shook violently, and then all was still. With the spirit gone, Mother Celine's influence crumbled. The villagers, no longer bound by fear, expelled her from the church and began to rebuild their community on a foundation of trust and forgiveness. They vowed never to let their secrets define them or be used against them again. As for Elara, she became a symbol of courage and truth in Eltra, proving that even in the darkest places, the light of justice could prevail. The Church of St. Arlan stood as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the resilience of those who dared to confront it. Thank you for watching. I believe you enjoyed the story. Subscribe for more interesting stories.